Communication is key here in 2023 when we are talking to our clients. So, today I'm going to drop some bombs on you guys of knowledge around communication and how you can be a better communicator and an effective listener when you're talking to your clients. This is not just about selling houses, guys. It is also about building productive relationships that can last you forever and make you an entire family's realtor. So, buckle up, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Coach Sascha here, guys. I'm a real estate agent down here in DFW, team leader, Chatman Realty Group. I'm an EXP Icon agent. And so let's go ahead and get into this. But before we do, hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us grow. And so today I'm going to give you guys my 7 tips around effective communication with your real estate client. So let's get into it. Number one, be a good listener, not just a talker. Literally, stop talking and listen to understand, not listen to respond to your client. If you're asking them questions and they're trying to explain what they're looking for, even if they sound like they're lost, lean in, listen intently, and then repeat back what they said to you. This is going to show your client that you're actually paying attention to their needs and you understand what it is that you're looking for. But if you're doing this number here, got your phone. Yep, yep. You're not being a good listener. That's actually terrible. That's downright bad. So put the phones away and make sure you're having a really good conversation. Nothing burns me up when I see a realtor out there with their client walking the house, and the client's walking through the house, but then the realtor's sitting here, setting up their next showing, and the client's talking away, but the realtor's really not paying attention. Because then you start saying this, the client's rolling their eyes when you don't see that. So make sure you're a good listener and not just a good talker. Tip number two, master the art of clarity. Okay. Real estate is a jargon filled industry. We talk about a whole lot of stuff, right? Numbers we're throwing out there, different concepts. There's words that people have never even heard of. And we have to be respectful and understand that this is something that's very confusing. Just because you and I do this every single day and we talk and we say escrow every single day. Okay. We talk about DPA, down payment assistance, and then we start throwing out all these acronyms that you and I know. That's fine and dandy. We're in the industry. But when it comes down to a client, that is intimidating. Imagine what it feels like to go into a group room full of surgeons and they start talking about the different anatomy happening in the body when they're about to do some type of bowel surgery. You would be lost. The exact same thing can happen when it comes down to our clients. So keep it simple and give them information in chunks so they can digest it. Now, we're not going to assume they just don't understand anything, but when you just sit there and vomit all of your real estate knowledge on them, expect them to start looking for somebody else who can make it sound a little bit more clear, give them more clarity, and not make it sound so terrifying when it's time to buy or sell their home. Okay. Tip number three, set realistic expectations. Do this from the jump. And let's talk about this particular client. When you get that client who says, I want a 5 bedroom, 3.5 bath, I want an acreage, I want a tennis court in the back, but I want it to be $1,000. Don't just hang up the phone. Okay. Because I know some of y'all do that. I know some of y'all do that. Okay. Set realistic expectations. Some people haven't bought a house in quite some time. If it's their second or third time buying a home, okay, so they might have bought something $1,000 got them quite a bit. And I can tell you right now, when I work with that client who hasn't bought a house in at least a decade, and they see today's prices, they're like, "Hey, no way, how did I do this?" But they also don't know how much their home is worth. See what I'm talking about? Okay. But you need to set realistic expectations, have the difficult conversations up front, whether you're talking to a seller about the condition of their home, rip off the band aid, guys, and make sure you're being realistic with individuals so they can understand what they need to do. You'd be surprised how many people actually have money in which they can go pull from different sources. You'll be surprised that people actually have a path forward that sometimes we may think they don't have because they're not telling us everything. Most of the time, we're strangers. They're not going to tell us every last thing that's going on with them. So keep that in mind. Keep an open mind from that perspective, but set realistic expectations. Tip number four, communication is a two-way street. All right. Yes, you need to communicate effectively, but your client should also be asking questions. If your client's not asking questions, you need to be encouraging them to ask questions. I mean, throw them up a softball, lob will ease one up right there so they can bring a question back to you. Just get the back and forth going so they feel more comfortable so they can start asking you even more questions about the home buying and selling process. So let's keep the communication lines pretty open. All right. And let's think about how we're going to communicate with them as well. Is your client an individual that wants verbal communication? Do you need to email that individual or do you need to text that individual? Frankly, I do all of them. Especially, I love putting things in writing so we actually have clarity. And one more thing, make sure you get all parties on the same email and text chains as well. Don't start communicating with one party over the other because sometimes it feels like to the others that you are showing favoritism, especially if the two parties are not on the same page. Tip number five, embrace technology, baby. Embrace technology. So, yes, texting, I'm not going to say it's technology. Who doesn't text? I get text from my grandfather. He's 95 years old. So, everybody texts. Video people, get on it. I used to say, video's coming, video's coming. No, video is here. Video is now. It's pretty much expected that you're going to drop a video to people. So if you're uncomfortable because you don't think you look good enough to be on video, get over it. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I mean, I look gorgeous every day, so I can do videos all day. But I understand, guys, we can just throw on a t-shirt and do a video. Um, I'm not going to touch that. Anyway, at the end of the day, when it comes down to when it comes down to video, you need to go ahead and embrace that technology. It can definitely help you communicate more effectively. And when people can actually see what you're saying and not just read an email or text, they can't misinterpret what your eyes are trying to say to them. So keep that in mind. And I love to communicate with folks via video. They get to know me, they get to understand my personality, and then they can decide if they actually like me or not if they've never met me. I would much rather someone to look at me and say, I want to work with that guy than to have me continue chasing them over and over and over again, and then I have no idea what's going on. So let them decide to opt in or opt out of you. Try video out. Tip number six, be honest, even when it's difficult. Okay? You have to be honest. Stop babying your clients. Tell them the truth. Just tell them the truth if they're being unreasonable. If they're not understanding, if they really believe their house is worth way more than what it is, show them the truth and then say, I don't know where we go from here. I'm showing you exactly how much the house is worth and what everything around here is saying, but you're still telling me that we can get another $100,000 because you're emotionally attached to the home. I say it all the time. Say, I don't have an emotional attachment. I'm trying to help you sell it. I'm going to make more money if I help you sell it for more money. But the reality is, there's nothing around here that's going to work from that perspective because I don't see the house appraising at that perspective at that high. So be honest with them. Have the difficult conversation. You need to master that skill, having difficult conversations and being able to deliver that message in a respectful way so you can maintain the relationship. But when you run from those conversations and you lie to your client, you're going to get your butt in some trouble. Okay. Especially if you have a client who doesn't really understand the real estate process and then you get caught up in a lie, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. And it can get you in a whole lot of trouble. So please don't do that. Tip number seven, shouldn't have to say this, but follow up. Follow up, man, and follow through. If you say you're going to do something by 10 a.m. the next day, do it. Do it. Stop saying a time. Just stop saying a time. Follow up and follow through on a consistent basis. Do what you say you're going to do, and you will build productive relationships in this industry. Actually following up and actually following through. You'll be surprised how many agents don't do that. And they sign up on my website, and I'm like, well, I have an agent, but I haven't heard from him in 2 months. I'm like, you don't have an agent. Yes, you do. Look at me. Look at me. I'm your agent now. Right? Some of y'all lose your clients so quick because you don't follow up and you don't follow through and you don't get them to sign a buyer's rep agreement. But that's a whole nother conversation. But make sure you follow up on your clients, okay? Communication in real estate is all about developing trust, building relationship, and managing expectations. So this is a skill that you as an agent you have to master, practice, get really good at it. Work this out with your wife or your husband or your significant other, but learn how to be an effective communicator and boost that skill up. within you, and you'll be a great realtor. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, guys. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you want to schedule a chat session, the link is in the description. You guys take care. Peace.